Hey Kaikila, I'm Kate. I'm an American living in Finland. Ever since moving here, I have friends from all over the world asking me how grocery store prices compare. Many people automatically assume that European grocery stores are way cheaper than that in the US. Although that may be true for some European countries, I sense that's not really the case for Finland. So today, I'm going to be heading to Prisma, which is a local grocery store chain, and collecting prices in store. And then I'll compare them to those I find online for Walmart and Whole Foods, just to cover both budget and premium ends. Let's go. Before we get into it, I want to make two callouts. One, Finnish prices already include taxes, while all of the US prices are pre tax, even if items are going to be taxed in the end. The taxes are calculated based on your location. And two, all of the prices that I collected for my online shopping was in the DC area. In order to minimize numbers and conversions and yada yada yada, I will be showing you the item I'm talking about on screen along with the price per unit in Finland versus in the US, along with the percentage of how much it is cheaper by. Quick disclaimer, prices do change throughout the year, and seasonality really matters, and same is true in Finland and in the United States. So these prices that we're going to be looking at today are going to be for October 2025. Okay, I know nobody wants a 20-minute spiel of me giving you items and then telling you the prices. So I decided to break up the items into separate categories. The categories that I have are everyday basics, produce, proteins, pantry staples, snacks and treats, household and personal care. And I'll go through each category one by one. Okay, well, while getting ready for this video, I realized that Walmart is cheap. It is way cheaper than Whole Foods, which I'm sure doesn't surprise any of my American viewers, but it is way cheaper than any grocery store you can find in Finland. It wins Prisma in every single category, except for maybe some produce items and some grains. Well, I could end the video right here, but I decided to keep it a little bit more interesting. I honestly think comparing Prisma groceries to Walmart groceries will not be a really fair comparison. Truth is, I never really shopped at Walmart, and the reason for that being is that the quality of the food just isn't very high. In the past year and a half, most of my groceries were from Whole Foods. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Going forward, I will be comparing Prisma prices for Finland, and for the United States, I will take grocery prices from Whole Foods. Milk is cheaper in Finland. Eggs are cheaper in Finland. Bread is cheaper in the US. Butter is cheaper in Finland. Sugar is cheaper in Finland. Salt is cheaper in Finland. Cooking oil is cheaper in Finland. Adding up all the numbers, Finland does win the everyday basics round by about 21%. So Finland's items are about 21% cheaper than the US as a whole. Next on our list is produce. My guess, though, is that these prices do vary season to season in both countries. So, just a reminder once again, we're looking at prices for October 2025. Royal Gala apples are cheaper in Finland. Bananas, both regular and organic, are cheaper in the USA. Potatoes are cheaper in Finland. Onions are cheaper in Finland. Tomatoes are cheaper in Finland. Carrots are cheaper in Finland. Strawberries are way cheaper in the USA. Raspberries are way cheaper in the USA. I did want to compare a couple more items, but they're sold quite differently in Finland versus the US. Like, for example, large English cucumbers. In Finland, they're sold by weight. So you weigh the item and pay for the weight that you're getting. While in the United States, you pay per item. Okay, and it looks like the produce round is won by the United States by 21%. And what the surprising fact here is that most produce items are actually cheaper in Finland. But some of those items are just so much more expensive that the United States just wins the whole thing. Okay, next on our list is proteins. Proteins is usually one of the pricier categories in kind of any countries you go to. So I was extra curious how Finland is going to compare to the United States. And I didn't just choose meat and fish to go on this list, I also added a couple vegetarian options as well. Chicken breast is cheaper in the United States. Ground beef is cheaper in the United States. Salmon is cheaper in the United States. Deli meat is cheaper in the United States. Cheese is cheaper in Finland. Lentils are cheaper in Finland. Beans are cheaper in the United States. Okay, adding up the protein round. It looks like the United States won this one by 5.5%. There's a couple observations that I have. One, it's probably cheaper to be a vegetarian in Finland than it is in the United States. The other thing is that it kind of surprised me that salmon, which is local to Finland, both farmed and wild, is more expensive here than in the US, where most of it is imported. Does anybody know the reasoning for that? Okay, moving on to pantry items. Rice is cheaper in Finland. Ketchup is cheaper in Finland. Pasta is cheaper in Finland. Tea is cheaper in Finland. Coffee is cheaper in Finland. Peanut butter, although I'm much more of an almond butter girl, is cheaper in the USA. Breakfast cereal is cheaper in Finland. Oatmeal is cheaper in Finland. Okay, and now looking at the pantry staples, it looks like Finland won by 35%. Wow. And this is for items that even have the same brand both here and in the US. For example, Cheerios were cheaper here. I was very shocked to see that much of a price difference. Okay, next on our list is snacks and treats. And this is the category that is purely made out of guilty pleasures or not guilty pleasures, or maybe this is not even something that you enjoy, but it may say a lot about the different countries and the lifestyle differences. Chocolate is cheaper in Finland. Potato chips are cheaper in the USA. Ice cream is cheaper in the USA, both local and Ben & Jerry's. Soda is cheaper in the USA. Okay, and the snacks and treats section is won by the United States by about 6%. Before we move on to the next group of items, I wanted to talk a little bit about chocolate. I compared Fazer chocolate to something that is typical to be bought at Whole Foods. But while I was also looking at Walmart prices, I checked out the prices for a Hershey bar, which is known in the United States and also outside of the US. What absolutely shocked me is the price per kilogram. A Hershey bar costs less than $1 per kilogram, while Fazer is somewhere in the neighborhood of 20. This really makes me question Hershey's quality and the humanity of the sourcing of the ingredients. And finally, the less glamorous part of shopping, but also pretty important, the household essentials. Toilet paper is cheaper in the US. Laundry detergent is cheaper in the US. Shampoo is cheaper in Finland. Toothpaste is cheaper in the US. And looking at this group of items, it looks like US is cheaper by about 8%. Okay, as it turned out, Finland is not the ultimate winner, but there definitely are some items which are cheaper here than they are in the United States. Did the results surprise you? Is there a category that got you thinking? I would love to hear your thoughts, so please share them in the comments below. And also, if you'd like to see some other comparisons next, I'd love to see those in there as well. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. If you'd love to follow along more closely to some of the adventures I have, Please feel free to follow me on Instagram. I'm going to leave a link in the description box below. And kudos for watching. And remember, life is too short for boring adventures. Moi moi.